Hi everyone, my name is McCarthy. I'm about to run through probably a 30-minute presentation around the DasCoin Net Leaders opportunity, and I just wanted to, in this particular video, just work through with you how I understand the netleaders.com website and the conversation around the concept of the Internet of Value, because this is so important. So important that you understand this, as it sort of leads through to what this opportunity actually means. So I'm going to just minimize myself now and work through this. Now, I will be referring to some notes I've got to my right hand side, so if I sort of look away, I'm just referring to those notes. So with this Internet of Value concept, and I think most of us that have been in the digital cryptocurrency world, where we've possibly used Bitcoin, the question that keeps coming back to me is, why is there a value of, call it $900 or $1,000 for a Bitcoin? And for a lot of the, I guess, the older community out there that still operate in dollars and pounds and whatever, where it's traditionally been backed by and regulated by your governments. Here we are with, and of course, the currency valuation and the currency system within that country is supported, and yet from just a top level down, I mean, we're seeing some currencies disappear. I'm talking about fiat currencies. These are currencies that are used by governments around the world. 15 of those over the last, I think, 20 years have disappeared. And that's kind of an interesting, statistic. We see on just an ongoing basis the devaluation of our dollars and our pounds and so on. That's if you hold them in a bank account, earning literally just a percent or two. So here we have a digital currency, a digital world where money is being created via the internet, and Bitcoin is the flagship conversation piece around this. Why is Bitcoin at that price now? There's I think 10 million users of Bitcoin. The capitalization of Bitcoin is around $15 billion. So, and this has grown from zero in 2009-10. So this is not going away. Bitcoin and its valuation, if you listen to experts in this space, will see absolutely higher values over time as the demand increases and the supply of the Bitcoin through the decentralized mining model they use starts to wind back. So this is just an opener, really, to get your heads around the internet and how it can ascribe value, intrinsic value, to a digital currency. Okay, so what we've seen in I guess in the last 20 or so years, the internet used to research information. We're seeing banks having portals into their accounts, into the banks, so that you can transfer money from one account to another, etc. There's just lots of reasons to use the internet, but now what we're seeing is the creation of real assets on the internet, and it's not just about sending and receiving and storing information anymore. What we're now talking about, the possibility of creating real assets via the internet. So for there to be any value in anything in this digital currency kind marketplace. You've got to have a digitally formatted coin that can be sent anywhere around the world. It has to be instant, has to be secure, and at no cost. And what our net leaders team call this is the Internet of Value. And when we go through some of the aspects and attributes of what net leaders have created here, you'll understand why the intrinsic value of this particular coin is going to, in my view, increase over time. So let's just move on to the next slide. As I mentioned, we now have this digital revolution 2.0. Here people calling it gold 2.0. I see the real possibility of assets being created on the internet like money. So as I said, it's got to be digitally formatted and sent, and be able to be sent anywhere around the world instantly and securely at no cost. So what we have here is what I'm calling the business calls DasNet, and it's a global network that positions ourselves to capture rewards from this Internet of Value, and if you want to be part of this private global network called DasNet, you'll contact me after this presentation, or hopefully you will. So what we're going to talk about now is what this sort of global network is all about, and I'm just going to refer to some notes here. This is an innovative technology platform combining world-class computer hardware, next-generation blockchain technology, state-of-the-art encryption, and KYC authentication services that will create a highly secure, decentralized global network. Now, that is quite an assembly of computer geek speak, I guess. But I think what we have to understand, we're now in a new paradigm. This is a new place. Money is not as it used to be. So we need to understand some of these concepts. So let's just keep moving through this. The blockchain is so important to any digital currency that's marketing itself out there, and there are some great products great solutions that are attaching themselves to blockchain technology. Net leaders have developed their own proprietary blockchain. Now, this isn't like for most cryptocurrencies where you download this software. It's a public domain software, and you make a change or two, and you call it Wayne coin or Bob coin, and it deals with a particular problem that they see that the digital coin solves. Now, for this organisation, as I said, they've built their own blockchain, and so it sort of comes to this. There's been major breakthroughs in this sort of space. It's at its most simple level, the blockchain is a way of securing accounting for digital assets. So once they're on the blockchain, they are immutable. They cannot be changed. So it's in an accounting sense, if it's a financial transaction, it's like a ledger. And depending upon how big your blockchain network is, that ledger will be replicated around to all of those servers that support this, a business's blockchain. So it combines elements from a diverse range of fields, including security, networks, cryptography, distributed systems, and game theory. While it began with the advent of Bitcoin, the blockchain industry has yet to reach its full potential. And this is interesting because for most people out there, blockchain is a new concept, but the the investment in blockchain in various applications that are being developed is just growing at a massive rate. The blockchain technology is now being, it's more than being investigated. There's been massive equity being put into blockchain from the major banks to build their own blockchains, because they have to compete with this feeless transaction business that is now the blockchain. So I just want you to understand that the blockchain, in the case of DasCoin and the DasNet environment, is fundamental, because it's like the backbone of your body. Without a strong backbone, the arms and limbs, your heart, all those things just do not function. So what I'm just saying to you now is that, and we'll continue this conversation around blockchain, because there are these features, these attributes within the DasNet environment that provide extreme intrinsic in my view, value to the vehicle for that valuation, and that's the DasCoin. So just to summarise, as I said, net leaders, the team of people around DasCoin have created reliability, availability, scalability, and maintainability. And whilst they're sort of words that you can probably find different definitions for, this is essentially these are the building blocks for which the business has been built on. So let's get to the future of financial freedom, and the statement here. And this information in the main comes from the website netleaders.com. You'll see a lot of this. I'm just putting some of my understanding around it so that it allows the layman to get their head around what we're talking about. So the ultimate result is the full realization of the Internet of Value, in which anyone can trade all kinds of assets over a specialized virtual private network without depending on third parties. And this is kind of key to the value proposition here. The digital asset here is not just, the coin, the DasCoin is just the valuation component of all this. The intrinsic value comes from the other attributes that are built within the DasNet ecosystem, and we'll get to those in a moment. So I think to finish up on the concept here of the Internet of Value, I mean, the DasNet is a network that combines the best technology elements with optimal infrastructure design. So these fellows that I've met in various parts of the world, they are leaders in their own technology space. So they've brought together this technology, their skill sets, and produced DasNet. And so what it in summary says is that it's a better performance model. It's more efficient, more secure, more reliable, and more scalable. So that's important. Now, some of the intrinsic value pieces to the DasNet Services, so let me just change that up a bit. As I mentioned, this is a state-of-the-art permission-based blockchain service that will be integrated with web services. And this allows the business to scale up the blockchain, this proprietary blockchain, add elements to the blockchain. So it is, as I said, it's permission-based, it's centrally managed, and it is state-of-the-art. The network services, there's an array of encrypted data services. There are smart contracts, which are self-executing and self-enforcing. Now, smart contracts are digital, if you like, digital contracts that are embedded, if you like, within the blockchain. As a smart contract is executed, it sits in the blockchain. It can't be changed. It's as it says there, it's self-executing. So if it happened to be a loan agreement, and I borrowed, $10,000 from you. It's on the blockchain, and on the, call it the 180th day or the 365th day, that money will come out of your account and put back into mine. So, there are obviously some other concepts around that need to be dealt with in the contract, but it's the sort of thing that's going to take a lot of the transactional cost and the transactional cost and effort out of the lawyer and solicitor space, the accounting space, the controller space. So this is going to create a new industry, in my view, and move people out of the traditional, back office roles of, managing documentation. Blockchain as a service, very exciting. This is very exciting. This blockchain, as I said, it's a private blockchain built by the DasNet team, and it's available. It can be sold if necessary, if the business chooses to do that, if it's a commercially sensible decision. But right now, the banking industry, the tier one banking industry, are putting millions of dollars into their own private blockchain. They're building their own, which is fine. They've got the money to do that. But there are thousands of banks out there that do not have the funding to build a blockchain or the experience and expertise to run one. So this is where we're positioning the DasNet blockchain. Infrastructure as a service, there are a range of applications that can be applied amongst the block, into the blockchain. I'm not privy to that at this point. They're part of our R&D program, but again, as they are released, they'll continue to add value to DasCoin. The Internet of Value, made simple. This is just a picture of. Right, so I'm back again. The Internet of Value made simple. This slide shows a NetLeaders license, and with a NetLeaders software license, you can participate in the value created from the next generation of the Internet. So, NetLeaders is creating a virtual private network that features state-of-the-art security and is only accessible by authenticated users. Now, that in itself is a step in the right direction, in my view. Having security around who is part of this business is important. The world is changing with people moving to do transactions on in a digital form, and right now there's very little authentication of who the users are. The owners of this business have made a decision that they will provide a KYC process, which is Know Your Customer. So anyone that's involved with DasCoin and buys a license will have to nominate, your address and email and provide proof that you are that person. So I think that is just, in my view, the right decision, as that's where I think most of the Western democracies will want to go. They will want to have, some say in how this is regulated and possibly grab some of the transaction fee or put a transaction fee through this process. So we mentioned the digital asset system, and this is where we're going to take the next part of the conversation. I mentioned it's an ecosystem of digital value. These are the components of the digital value that I believe will be assessed prior to DasCoin launching on the public exchange. Of course, it has to be. These are the components that make up our ecosystem, and every one of these nominated technologies are independent in a sense, but they are collective in another sense. We are an alliance of businesses that come together to form NetLeaders and building out the value of DasCoin. So just going around the circle, we've got a web wallet that has been built such that, from your back office, if you're part of this business. Your DasCoins will be in the back office. You can move them to a web wallet, and there'll be debit cards available for the web wallet to either spend that at an ATM machine, or if you want, you can convert that. You'll obviously come out at an ATM machine for that, which is the debit card. The DAS financial component here. Any new financial products like fintech products come through this organisation. The trading engine and exchange services. I've met the director of this business. That's ready to go, and it's a technology piece that is so critical to the success of this business, as it would be for any business. DasNet, what we're talking about is just the whole technology network. DAS payments, here we talk about DAS Pay and the utility around DasCoin and how important that will be. For those of you who are familiar with Apple Pay, the technology behind that, we have that built into and is being used for our DAS Pay solution. So, and again, once the market assesses that, the DasCoin value, if it hasn't already been described, that value it will do. And Net Leaders is the marketing and user authentication component of the network. Okay, now to this leadership team, and one of the most important things for me when I look at a business is the team of people that are the key decision makers, and whether you believe them to be honourable, trustworthy, skilled, and so on. Now, I said I've met these guys. I've been to Dubai and Hong Kong, had one-on-one meetings with them and had questions that I wanted answered. Every one of them has given me an honest opinion, view, answer on anything that I've had to ask. If I needed to ask them a question, I could go direct if I needed to, but I have strong people in my upline, and I don't need to do that. But if I needed to, they are available. So you've got, I'm just going to start with Michael in the middle here. He's the CEO and spearheads this organisation. He's got as all of them do, have amazing resumes. But Michael is based in Belgrade. He manages a team of people there, which includes the development team, and there's 14 of those people. One of which is, and he's one of 15 people on the planet that have an MBA in cryptography. And that's the sort of calibre of people that have been assembled in this business. John's based in Las Vegas. He manages the Net Leaders part of the business. The web wallet, George, is an amazing fellow. I mean, he's had a venture capital background. He's very, very he's across all of this web wallet piece. I mean, that's his technology, and that is key to, once the DasCoins are produced, via the cycle process and into your wallets, this is the web wallet that will allow you to spend it. And Terry, so he heads up DAS Financial and any of the fintech opportunities that come along that make sense within or for the business, Terry will be introducing to the business. So this group works as a collaborative alliance, and it's an interesting concept. So they run their own businesses that circle around, if you like, this ecosystem called DasNet. But as I said, I've personally met them. They are a great bunch of guys, and are working amazingly hard to get the boxes all ticked for this business to be up and running and trading on the public exchange in the second quarter of this year. I'll just go back here, although his picture isn't there. One of the other key guys in this business is a guy called Blair Baker, and his involvement here, whilst not at the level of these guys in a corporate sense, is probably the main guy that is bringing together the DasCoin technology that will support the transactional piece in the broker model, the institutional model, where DasCoin will be distributed and bought and sold, on the exchanges. His experience here is many years. He's got an amazing track record, and we're relying on Blair for a range of the pieces of this that are in the pipeline. So if you get a chance, Blair Baker is his name. Look him up. He is, and I've met Blair a few times now. I've got pictures of me and him, and he's just going to help drive this business forward, with DasCoin being a focus of his and his network. So the way to expand the network the organisation has chosen a multi-level marketing approach. People, in some cases, sort of once you mention that, they kind of go, don't want to be part of that. Well, it's just that this is the quickest, fastest, and more efficient way of getting DasCoin out there, known and recognised in this space. It rewards people that are prepared to be advocates for it, and if you don't, that's okay. You can be a customer. You can just buy DasCoin. Not an issue. But it just shows you just some of the I don't know who this person is, but it's just probably a dummy account. But the commissions and earnings from this is quite staggering. So the licenses that are available, there they are there, from €100 up to 25. For that, you're purchasing a software license which comes with cycles. Those cycles are made available to the DasNet network, and those cycles, depending upon which license you have, will produce a certain number of DasCoin that are drip fed into your wallet, which went to your back office and into your wallet if you choose them to go that way. So we're about to wrap up now. The future of money. Here's the statement here that I think is fairly relevant. Think about it. In just a few short years, Bitcoin, the world's first cryptocurrency, has attracted several million users. That's in fact 10 million, and has created over 10 billion in value. Well, that is now 15 billion. So an amazing story. Had you purchased, $20, $30, $40 of Bitcoin back in, back here, you'd be a millionaire today. So let's get in the front position here. I think if you understand what I've outlaid here, and you go back and have a look at the website, it'll confirm what I've said. You've got two options. You can become a customer, just buy a license and sit on the coins in your back office or your wallet, or you can become an advocate and promote the business. Anyway, that's this one. I'm going to produce another video shortly, which takes you through the compensation plan if you want to become an advocate. If you're looking to join, there'll be links in the bottom of this video and within the video. Contact me on my email at any time. I'm on Facebook as well. I'm all around the place with DasCoin, so just hit me up and I'll help you out. Anyway, thanks for coming on this video. Apologies for it being a bit long, but it kind of needs to be a long conversation, and I'll catch you up on the next one. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye.